The Golden Enclaves. The, the Golden Enclaves, the terrible price of prosperity. Part 1. Introduction. The world after Scholomance. Congratulations, you've finally graduated. You've survived the monsters, the shifting hallways, and the deadliest final exam in history. But in Elle's world, leaving the school doesn't mean you're safe. After the heart-shattering sacrifice at the end of the last book, Elle returns to the real world with a broken heart and an impossible burden. She quickly realizes that the Scholomance was only a tiny part of a much larger, much more brutal system. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are exploring the explosive finale of Naomi Novik's trilogy, The Golden Enclaves. This is where we finally find out where magic truly comes from and what horrific secrets are hidden beneath the glittering surfaces of the world's most luxurious wizarding communities. Get ready to have everything you thought you knew about this world turned upside down. Part 2. Breathless. Plot highlights. A global journey. 1. Grief and the breaking world. The story begins with Elle back in Wales, struggling with the crushing weight of Orion's loss. But she doesn't have time to mourn. The Golden Enclaves, the fortified cities where the rich wizards live in luxury, are suddenly being attacked by a mysterious force. Enclaves are being ripped open, and thousands are dying. Elle, being the only one powerful enough to stand against the Maw-mouths, is dragged into a journey that takes her from the rainy streets of London to the high-rises of New York and the opulence of Dubai. 2. The horrific secret of the Enclaves. This is the biggest twist of the entire series. Elle discovers the truth about how enclaves are actually built. To create a space of absolute safety and luxury, the founders didn't just use math and mana, they used a foundation of blood. To keep an enclave standing, another wizard must be turned into a Maw-mouth, a creature that exists in eternal, agonizing torment. This revelation puts Elle in an impossible position. Does she destroy the only safe places left in the world to end this injustice? Or does she let the world's elite continue their crimes to prevent total chaos? 3. The impossible reunion. Elle refuses to believe Orion is truly gone. She finds a way to go back for him, but the reunion is anything but a fairy tale. She discovers the truth about Orion's nature and his biological connection to the Scholomance itself. The confrontation between love and duty, between saving one person and saving the entire magical civilization, is the emotional peak of the book. It's a gut-wrenching look at what happens when the hero realizes they were designed to be a weapon. 4. Confronting the Monster Maker. The climax reaches a fever pitch as Elle faces off against the architect of the modern magical world. But this isn't a battle of flashy destruction spells. It's a battle of wills and philosophies. Elle has to make a choice that will fundamentally change how magic works for every person on Earth. She has to decide if she is the dark sorceress everyone feared she would be, or the architect of a new, fairer world. Part 3. Artistic highlights. Elle's final evolution. The greatest artistic achievement of this finale is Elle's growth. She spent 3 books being told she was a source of calamity, only to become the person who redefines the structure of reality. Naomi Novik masterfully connects every tiny thread from the first 2 books, making the ending feel both inevitable and shocking. The world building expands from a claustrophobic school to a sprawling global conspiracy, proving that the true monsters weren't the ones in the air vents, they were the ones in the boardrooms. Part 4. Analysis. The ethics of prosperity. The core message of the Golden Enclaves is a powerful political and moral allegory. Prosperity built on the suffering of others is never true prosperity. The book forces us to look at our own world and ask, what price are we willing to pay for our safety? How much suffering are we willing to ignore as long as we have a comfortable home? Elle chooses the hardest path, the path of truth and accountability. She proves that you don't have to be a dark sorceress to tear down a corrupt system. You just have to be someone who refuses to look away from the pain of others. Part 5. Conclusion. Farewell to the Scholomance. The Golden Enclaves brings Elle and Orion's journey to a conclusion that is deeply satisfying and profoundly hopeful. It's not a perfect happily ever after, but it's a beginning. A new chapter for the wizarding world where mana is no longer harvested from agony. Thank you for joining me for this entire series review. What did you think about the secret of the Enclaves? If you found out your home was built on someone else's suffering, would you have the courage to destroy it like Elle did? Let's discuss it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we move on to explore more incredible fantasy worlds. Until next time, remember, your power is defined by your choices.